Yo, what the fuck is up? It is your Basebox podcast hostess, Samantha. We're coming to you in a video. Yay! How exciting. I'm actually not nervous, not as nervous as I was doing the interview you're about to see. Probably because the interview I was sober and I've had a few shots tonight to loosen up. I'm in the spotlight now, so anyway, what's up? How's it going? So let's see. My life, I'm buying a house, so I'm gonna be able to create a new studio, which is exciting. Plamp the shit out of my new studio, my new area, not just have a tapestry behind my back. So yeah, very exciting. Hopefully I can lock the boys out so they don't growl and bark at me, which they're both, one of them's asleep but staring at me and the other one's just staring at me. But that'll be exciting. So yeah, lots of cool things going on in my world. Exciting, busy. My first topic I want to discuss is, so I am obsessed with YouTube creators, influencers, may you will call them what you want, but it's been nice during the pandemic too, and you'll hear this later on when I interview Gerry Gonza. It's been nice to just kind of escape reality. I'll go on break at work and I'll like go into the YouTube world and see what like these rich people are doing and be like, oh, those are my friends. I mean, it just kind of helps me disassociate myself from the real world, because all I do is really sit here and talk to my friends, of course, but it's exciting to see what other people are doing. So I've become obsessed with David Dobrik, who is one of YouTube's hugest influencers. But during the pandemic, he stopped making videos, and everyone's like on TikToks. He's like, make vlogs again. So I've been listening to his podcast, which was only like voice, so I would listen to it on Spotify, but he just recently moved into this like $12 million house in LA, and he created this huge studio for his podcast, and now his podcasts are video podcasts, and his first guest was Halsey, and then his second guests were Dylan Francis and Diplo. And oh my God, this podcast is so fucking hilarious. Diplo actually comes correct. Like, you would think that Dylan would, because he has so much humor, but no, Diplo, sarcasm out the ass. You should definitely go watch David Dobrik's, it's called Views, Views, I before E, yeah. So funny, so cute. Definitely recommend. I laughed my ass off. And it's good just to kind of see like the artists that we haven't been seeing. I don't know, I have mad respect for Dylan Francis and Diplo. And it's good to like kind of see what they're doing and get their little personality in the mix. My second topic is, it is the day for the women's. Very much appreciative of all of the women that I work with at Cyber Groove. We are mainly a woman-based company, which is so cool because a lot of agencies just have a lot of men. So it's cool just like being with a bunch of my homegirls, and we chat about life and we support each other, which is very different. I'm sure dudes do as well, but we're a little more emotional. So it's cool that we can celebrate being ourselves and being in the industry and kicking ass. So very proud of being a part of this team. I'm grateful to Scott, who has given us all the opportunity to put our heart and our soul into what we're passionate about. 2 thumbs up. My next topic is Daft Punk. R.I.P. It's not like we didn't see this coming. I was thinking about the last thing they did was Tron. That's pretty funny. I mean, they had to give up sometime. What? I don't know. Is this unpopular opinion? No, I've seen a lot of people be like, they haven't even played a set for fucking 10, 15 years, so. But big surprise to a lot of people. Not big surprise to a lot of other people. There is this like, it's like a cover group that comes to Phoenix sometimes that a few of my friends are familiar with. It's called One More Time. And they're like a Daft Punk cover DJ group, which is kind of weird because you don't know a lot of like cover DJ groups. You know of cover bands like, Rolling Stones cover bands, Journey cover band, Grateful Dead cover band, but these people are actually Daft Punk cover DJs. So check them out if you are feeling a little nostalgic. I also want to put out that I do have a lot of people to interview, but I was requested that promoters from other states, which I don't know a lot of promoters from other states. So promoters from other states, I would love for you to reach out to me. I'll try to reach out to some of you. Let's do an interview. See what's going on during the pandemic, what you have plans for after the pandemic. Let's chat, let's get to know each other. Also on Cybergroove's news page, we've got Thai Jinx Mix. Always Tuesday, which presents all of the new releases, free mixes, interviews, just all the music that you could want from our artists on our roster. So always be looking out every Tuesday to make sure you buy those tracks from our artists, or you download the mixes and listen to them on your next road trip. The last thing is we did have a mix from, when people spell this, it's Christian, but it's Zion Juan, who is somebody I knew in the past, Sean, I believe. But he graced his musical abilities to provide us with the mix recently, so that's exciting. I'm very, very excited to present to you our newest and our only video podcast with Gerry Gonza, who I've known for quite a while before he moved to Phoenix. I always get the pleasure of like meeting new people before they like blow up. So Gerry Gonza has been a huge influence in my musical preference. It's been fun watching him like in his career and become a fucking badass. So I hope you appreciate this first video podcast with an artist. Reach out to us, CG Agency. We are Basebox on Facebook. You can find our Insta, our Twitter. Go to CGAgency.com, I think. For our roster. Reach out to us. Let's start booking shows. Shows are coming back. Start booking our badass DJs. And let's do the fucking damn thing. Good to see you all. Love you. Bye.
Hi, Gerry. How are you?
What's up, Sam? I'm doing
on?
I'm doing I'm doing okay, I guess. How are you?
I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
I work from home. Are you still working in hospitality?
No, I'm actually food service. I just had to
Well,
kind of pick up whatever job I could get at the moment. But you know, it's sustaining, so I can't ask for very much more right now.
so you are essential in going out into the world, and
Yeah.
thank you for your business and service.
No, you gotta-
I work in health insurance, so I just sit at home by myself all day on the phone.
I mean, I don't know if the phone part sounds that great, but I think I'd probably would rather stay at home.
Yeah.
It does feel nice to get out there though. Like when I started back working and stuff like that, I was like, okay, like I'm, out and about, like I was like, something might happen, I might get this deadly disease, but no. Yeah, I did get it back in September and it was terrible, but luckily survived.
Good. I do Uber Eats to get out of the house, and then I kind of have control over my own like hygiene. So like when I come out of restaurant, I'm like antibacterial, and then I don't have to see anybody. I can just like drop it off, but it gets me out into the world, and so I try to do that for my stability.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta have the mind right. Gotta, make sure it's as okay as possible, especially right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for joining me today. This is our first video podcast.
Nice.
And I'm so lucky that I have successful friends that I can like just begin my podcast journey on. And so I really appreciate you because we've known each other for actually a pretty long time. And so even though I'm nervous, you were like, it's just two friends having a conversation. So I appreciate that. I have my new ring light, so that's exciting.
I dig it.
Very professional right now.
Nice.
So I know, I was like, that's one of the things I was nervous about. I was, when you're in like dreaming in the morning, but you're kind of awake, I was thinking like of all these places when I was in my dreams, like then I was thinking of all these questions. So I was just anxious all morning. I'm like, where am I going to do it? Like, should I put the TV and put some like stuff on the TV, or where should so usually I just sit at my desk, but then my kitchen's the background. And so I decided upon this Wookiee, whatever things are called. It'll improve. I was like, I need a plant or some shit, like, right?
Solidify the electric forest vibes.
The what do they call it? The plants and the other things for the live streams.
Props.
No, there's some sort of term people have been using. Plamp, because there's lamps. Plamp. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So you are Gerry Gonza, and
yes, this is me.
I have just watched you like flourish and watched you like go from this little guy. Where did you live? Calexico?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm originally from California.
And then you moved to Phoenix. So we met when you were part of a duo.
Yeah.
And you came out to, I don't know. I remember one of my favorite memories. We were at Bar Smith and you had a bottle of champagne and you just handed it to me. And I was like, that's so nice.
I think that was maybe the second show that we had there in Phoenix with the Cool Cats. But yeah, it was great, dude. Like, I mean, even from those first couple of shows, I just love Phoenix. That was the best thing ever.
Sorry, my dog
You're good.
Turned off the ring light.
Oh, puppers.
I learn something new every time I do a podcast, right?
That's the thing with the pups, though. You know, they're exactly like having children, I guess.
Yeah, you can't contain
maybe not
them.
exactly. I don't want to offend any parents out there, but you know, they're your
Yes,
children,
I
though.
do know.
They'll get
My
it.
big dog, which you've met my big dog, he's like very high maintenance. He has all these like skin issues, and I have to fucking take him to the vet all the time. And my little dog's loud and obnoxious. So yeah, they are a handful for sure.
Yeah.
So tell me where you started, where you like wanted to start, I guess, producing, because that's when I met you, but we always go through our party stage first.
Oh yeah.
So like, where did you start partying and living in Calexico? Like,
that's I think that's one of the funny part. Okay, so first off, how I got started, even just making electronic music. So I used to do rock music. I used to be in like hardcore emo bands, screamo, all that stuff. And so long story short, I got kicked out of the band that I was in. And so I was like, okay, well, what can I do? What's the type of music that I can do by myself? And I had already started listening to, I was in my very early like Daft Punk and Just This Stage, and just kind of ticking off
Prodigy.
Yeah, ticking off all the dance music boxes. But yeah, that's when I kind of just started just trying it out, and then eventually it kind of blossomed into what it is today. Yeah, as far as producing and stuff of what I've wanted to do, I think I've always focused on my musicianship and production more so than my engineering, as far as like mixing and mastering and stuff like that. I'll admit right now I'm not at all the best mix and master, but I feel like I can play decently. That's what I've been.
I agree.
That's what I've been working on the past couple of years, just brushing up on my drum skills and learning a little bit more on the piano, working on my singing and stuff like that.
Cool. That's one really cool, unique thing that you do is you bring in other elements of music into your sets, like singing and playing like more of a live show.
Yeah. I mean,
as opposed to just DJing, which sometimes you just DJ too, and that's still fun too.
No, yeah, like I mean, I found out very quickly playing live stuff that sometimes, well, not even sometimes, a lot of the times you won't have the proper amount of space for the gear, so you always have to kind of, figure out how much space you have to work with. And sometimes there's no space, so I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm just DJing today.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second though.
Yep.
You know how it goes.
Yep. So do you live near me? Are we just like zooming from 3 streets away?
No, I actually moved to California.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When this whole pandemic started and everything, actually it was a little bit before. I got a job out here, and then it brought me out here and stuff like that. Actually, I came back with my parents for a little bit, and I was lucky enough to be here while when they got COVID and stuff like that. Because when they got it, I got it. And
yeah.
They're a little bit older, so it definitely hit them pretty hard. So I was happy that I was here to do the hospital runs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I am planning on coming back to Phoenix, because unfortunately the job out here didn't really. It's going okay, just there's with everything with the whole pandemic that happened, because it happened like right as the whole company and everything was starting. It kind of just hit us pretty hard, so we had to just dial it back a little bit and kind of just push some plans forward,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say now that I'm going to be coming back to Phoenix, so I'm very excited. Because honestly, I didn't really tell people about it, just because I felt like I was going to be coming back, maybe not to live, but I knew I was going to be coming back to visit and stuff like that, and I was so disappointed with how I left Phoenix. I like, in my head I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this like a big party, a big night, you know, like have a bunch of homies come and DJ and stuff like that, and that didn't happen. So I'm like, no, I'm holding on to this until the day that happened. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the last show a lot of us went to was your show when Macy opened up for you. And that's, yeah, we throughout the whole pandemic, we're like, the Gerry Gonza show at Divina, like that was our last show before everything went fucking down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because that's one of our last memories of being with all of our friends together. You know, Macy moved to Colorado, so she wasn't really able to have like a going away party either. So yeah, it's
a bummer, but we're gonna have to make up for those going away parties. Just gonna have one huge going away bash, I guess.
It'll be a reunion, and then everyone goes back to where they live.
There you go. Yeah. No, yeah.
So some cool shows that I'm familiar with that you've done well, actually, this is also a very nostalgic thing, was Friendship last year, which I followed you around. I have a video of you doing like one of the Renegade sets by the the elevators.
Yep.
And then your crazy, what was that last show when everyone wore the orange jumpsuits? Nevermind.
It was Envied.
Yeah.
Records party. It was like space themed. That was so much fun getting to wear a NASA suit. That was cool.
That shit was insane. I was watching videos because I was telling my boss that helps me with the podcast. I was like, this is my friend Gerry. Like, I'm gonna interview him next. She's like, send me a shit. So I like sent her your Spotify, and then I sent her like videos from that. And she's like, holy shit. And she's like, this guy's really good. I'm like, I know. I wouldn't be interviewing him if he wasn't really fucking good.
Thank you.
What are some other cool parties that you've done?
Okay, definitely one of the absolute coolest parties that I've ever played, and this was on and this was just like because it also had so many things like surrounding the coolness of this party. But so this was actually when I was in back in with the duo the Cool Cats. My very first tour like ever. It was the first time I got on an airplane, first time I went to another country, like so many firsts. But so anyways, we played this party called Virada Mágica in Praia da Rosa, Brazil. It was a New Year's party, and so over there for New Year's, they have this custom to dress in like white and stuff like that. So this party is like on the beach. You can imagine it was a tent that housed, I think it was 10,000 people, but it's like right on the sand. So it's this huge like kind of like dome looking tent, and there's a bunch of people dressed in white. It's New Year's Eve, and like you're on the beach. Oh, like they had like trapeze artists, like like circus performers, like in the back stuff. Yeah, it was so cool. It was great. Yeah, that was one of the coolest gigs I've ever done. That was fun.
Cool. And then you guys were on Holy Ship, which I missed. I think I went the other one, and you played the other one.
Yeah, on that February one. Yeah, I got to play the famous Galaxy Disco, which is really cool. Yeah,
that's a pretty bomb venue. Did you ever go on a Holy Ship with the Spice H2O venue in the back? I don't know if you have.
That was the only Holy Ship that I went on actually, in what was it, 2016, I believe.
Yeah. And that got you in with like Gerry, and then when you got put on for his tour, I was like, what? That was so cool.
Yeah. That was a good time. Another really cool one was BPM Festival in 2015.
I've heard that one's really cool.
It was crazy because honestly, that one really like. I mean, it's so cheesy. I feel like sometimes to be like, oh, this show changed my life. But honestly, like that whole 11 days of that festival really, really changed my life. Because it was, I mean, like in Calexico, I didn't really have that many chances to go to some super proper like house and techno parties and stuff like that. So, when I went over there, and you know, oh my, I still remember the Circle Local party, and it was it was Died Sound Room back to back with Dan Ganasia. They played for it. I think it was like 8 hours. The party was from like 12 a.m. to 8 in the morning or something like that. And I did not stop dancing for a single second the whole time. I was surprised there weren't holes in the ground. Which, funny enough, at the life and death party, my girlfriend at the time and myself put holes in the ground from how long I think we danced again for like, I think it was like 12 hours or something. It was crazy, and it was like the most fun, you know, like we didn't even want to go and get water. You know what I mean? Like it was just the best time. Oh,
like I'll stay hydrated on my spit.
Yeah, seriously. Like the music was just too good to go anywhere. But yeah, those were some of the best shows, you know. I mean, location, music, the vibe, everything was just on point. And that was cool because sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say since we had these passes, because I played the tool room party that year. So anyways, we had some passes that would allow us to go into parties and stuff like that, to whichever one. We were just like, okay, we're just gonna hop around, because I didn't know that many labels or that much of it at the time. So we were like, okay, like we'll just hop around, and when we find a place we like the vibe and everything, we'll stay there. And that was the way I kind of like introduced myself to kind of everything, and that's how I really found out, like, okay, like this is what I like, and that's when my kind of started changing. That's when I got the idea of like, okay, I think I might do my solo thing, and you know, start doing the Gerry Gonza thing. So yeah, it was a pretty pivotal.
Stop, bro.
I mean, I guess. Like I like that test. I was there.
He's like, well, I want to tell my story. I think he doesn't understand that I'm talking, so like he thinks I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so like living in Calexico, did you go down to like Rocky Point at all, or did you like go to LA? Like where did you not, you just started producing and then got into like going to shows?
Well, so how I started producing was because I used Fruity Loops to make drumline cadences. So so I started kind of producing a little bit first, and then it was actually my little sister that was going to raves. It was literally like right across the border in Mexicali.
Yep.
And mind you, like I'm saying my little sister, she's a year younger than me, but I was, I think, 15.
Yeah.
Like very, very, very young raving, I guess. And I know there's been other people that started even younger than that, but you know, to me, I was just like, damn. And like looking back at it now, I'm just like, how did my parents allow me to go to these things? But anyways, yeah. So I'd be going across the border, and basically whatever the promotion company that was it was, I think they're called Sun Sound. Anyways, whatever show that they would put on, I would just go, you know. And it was usually always like some pretty good electro DJs and stuff like that. And then I think maybe 2009, 2010, it went into like all deep house, just like cold turkey. It was like electro, bang, 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 and then like Ramon Tapia deep house, which was great, but like I didn't get it at the time, honestly, you know, especially like being younger and wanting more like fast, intense music and stuff like that, you know. I was just
yeah,
like, get me away from deep house, get me electro house, and now like it's totally opposite.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into it. There's always this joke, like people that go on Holy Ship didn't like deep house until they went on Holy Ship, and then it like that changed their life. And he who not be named, that we have in mutual knowledge contact, he would make fun of me when I would go to Holy Ship, and then I'd come back and I'd be like, Gorgon City fucking rocks. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, you don't fucking like house? I'm like, no, Gorgon City's the shit.
It's like I don't like house, I like Gorgon City.
Yeah. And because I don't know, they're so vibey, and like I'm a bass head through and through, like,
yeah.
But I don't know, you just those happy vibes.
Absolutely. It's I mean they're it's FOMO, right? I believe that's the head of Gorgon City, and he comes like, bass roots. So
Mm-hmm.
that influence is there for sure.
Yeah. So are you like, I always talk about the pandemic and I'm like, this is giving artists the opportunity, like this could be the second renaissance. Like people could be just at home, like making music. Are you producing right now? Like, are you doing
I
anything?
Yeah, so right at the beginning of the pandemic, I was already finishing up my first album. And then I got another one done, maybe in like June, July, and then a bunch of stuff happened in my personal life that just kind of really, really made it hard to work on anything. Um, I mean, in that time though, I was very fortunate enough to be able to like invest in my studio and get some more, like a lot more equipment, and learn how to actually use it. So
Yeah.
I did spend some time on that, learning like MIDI systems and all that stuff. But I think it was maybe in October, November, something like that, where I started again, like kind of making beats here and there. And like now I've actually been finishing up some music, trying to work on the third album and stuff like that, and wrapping up the first one. But yeah, I've been experimenting a whole bunch with music that's not even electronic music. I've been writing some soul, some R&B, um, some more like it's I guess like jazz fusion a little bit, mixed with I guess like Fela Kuti style, like African rhythm and stuff like that. But yeah, just trying to expand my taste and knowledge, and trying to listen to as much different stuff that I can, and trying to kind of stay away from consuming a lot of house and techno and stuff like that. I mean, just electronic, like dance music in general. I'm trying to like listen a little bit less and listen more to other things, so I can bring more influence from other stuff into it. Because I mean, a lot of people have had so much more time to produce and stuff like that, but I feel like we haven't pushed the envelope as much as we could have. Like I'm hearing things that are a little bit different, but they're not, my opinion, like so significantly like that. It's not that different, that much more advanced than we were prior to the pandemic. But I think that's where I'm just trying to push myself, and trying to be like, okay, let me make sure that I'm developing myself to sound much more developed and much more advanced, and yeah, just kind of grow more into what I want to do, as far as music goes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you can't know if you don't try something. Like you might be like you might be good at what you do, and then like you get to a point where you want to take a turn, like you've already excelled at that, so then you're like, maybe I could try something different. And then what if you're better at that than you were this, like,
Exactly.
right?
That's what's crazy, is you really never know what you're capable of. And I'll say it right now, like, in anything that you want to do, you're capable. You just have to give yourself that opportunity, like not feel so guilty about being talented, and just let it shine.
Yeah.
Especially in the past couple of weeks, I've been I've been writing some more like proper, I guess, proper, just like songs, that like have nothing to do with electronic music. They're just songs. I've been writing like lyrics and singing and stuff like that, and it's stuff that I never thought I could do, actually like compose and songwrite and stuff like that. And then it really wasn't until that day I just said, fuck it, like, let me just give it a shot and let's see how it goes. It could be terrible, it could be good, we'll see what happens. And I ended up really, really liking it. So
Cool.
we'll see what happens. I
I've
think
been going back to my roots, and I've just been listening to hip hop lately.
nice. Hell yeah.
I'm
That's
like the whitest gangster ever. Like I'll be in my blacked out Volvo, like just bumping, and I'm like, these people are looking at me like I'm crazy. So I'm just like, white girl, like
just bumping it.
I am who I am, and I'm not sorry about it.
No, you gotta own that shit. 100%. Yeah. Been diving into some oh my god, and I feel so corny saying it, but into some 90s hip. It's just so good. Listening to a lot of DOS effects. Yeah, DOS effects has been my jam recently. Anyways, yeah, it's been some experimenting times. I don't know if anything will come of the music that I'm doing, but I honestly that's been a huge focus for me in the past couple of months, is just trying to find myself outside of the identity that I created for myself with Gerry Gonza and all that stuff, because I feel like so many of my fellow musicians and stuff like that, like maybe a lot of us got very lost when the industry went down, because so much of our identity and who we are and all that stuff is tied to us doing what we do. So I just saw it really, really important to find myself outside of music, and
Well,
really
I kind of
find.
felt like you went through that when you left the Cool Cats, because you
Yeah.
wanted to find your own identity, and now you kind of want to find your own different identity from who you are right now. So like, I feel like you just want to keep leveling up, and you'll probably go through it again. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean that's life. It's constant growth and learning and stuff like that. And I mean, if there's anything I've learned in traveling, is just of how abundant life is, and its experiences that it offers, and how many things you can enjoy and do. And it can be simple little things, like woodworking, growing plants, or hiking and stuff like that. Or it could be more complicated things, like, I don't know, doing inventions, coming up with some formulas or something like that. But I think it's really important for musicians to find themselves outside of the music and the art, because we're all people. We all like so many different things, and unfortunately, not for everybody, music is forever. So gotta find other things that you enjoy.
Absolutely. This is my pandemic hobby. I just think that I love marketing so much, and I just have so many like cool friends that I'm like, plus I'm so I've been pretty chill right now, but like I am very much a presence like in real life, and
Yeah.
I'm very animated, and so I'm like, I'm gonna just try this thing out, and it's worked. Like I've had good conversations with first like my closest friends. Like I had an interview with Macy, and then more recently I had an interview with Divinity, who's on. I work for a record or an artist label, so a talent agency company,
Nice.
and we have a huge roster of like all the biggest drum and bass and dubstep
Nice.
producers and DJs. But Divinity's one of them. And then We Bang, who has been a good friend. I just had an interview with him a couple weeks ago, and we've never had a one-on-one conversation.
Mhm.
Like you and I have several times, even, out of the club. But it was cool getting to know him because we knew all the same people. We just hadn't like connected. And like the vibes were really thick during that interview. And it's really cool talking to you, like, because like I said, I just kind of sit at my house. And what's fun about going to the club is you see people, even though they're not your like best friends, but they're your acquaintances. It's nice to see their face. It's nice to talk about old times. So right now I'm only seeing my best friends, and being able to like actually talk to other people and have other experiences has been like really helpful for me personally, just because I have been having to grow up because I'm reaching my 40s. And so this pandemic has like been like, all right, Samantha, it's time to grow up. So I'm like buying a house, which is cool. So I'll have
Nice.
a
That's
yard.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'll have
Yep.
a yard for my dogs in Chandler. So that's where I grew up. So I'm going back to the east side.
Your pups are gonna be so happy having a yard.
I
Oh my
know. I know.
God.
So it's allowed me to grow up, which was needed because I was out at the club. I took a little while off, but then when my sister when she got into it originally, then like I was like, oh, well, Macy's playing or Macy's going, so I'm gonna go.
Heck yeah.
And then so the pandemic has like helped me chill out and like kind of just find my ground and find my my age and where I need to be at. So then when it does open up, then I'll still be a little grounded, you know, but I won't be going wild like I was for about a year there.
I mean, it's good to find a balance, you know. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
there'll be some nights where you're like, all right, this is a special occasion. Let's just go off the deep end. But you know, I feel like as you get older, especially your body just doesn't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny. I remember, you know, the first couple times touring and stuff like that. You know, it'd be like a couple days and stuff like that, and I'm waking up like I'm still fresh. I'm like ready to go. All right, let's get to this next flight, blah blah. And you know, the other guy in Cool Cats is just like dead tired, dead asleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I'm poking fun at him and stuff, and he's like, homie, wait till you get like near to your 30s and stop working. No, I'm just yeah. Now I'm getting closer. I turned 28 last year, so now I'm just like, okay, I think I'm getting it. Like I'm needing coffee a little bit more often.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I actually got myself coffee before this. I was like, maybe I should drink some coffee. I made myself, after I told you I was nervous, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get my shit together. So I cleaned off my kitchen counter. I made chicken and pancakes this morning, some fried chicken. Yep. And then I took a shower and got my coffee. So I was like, you know what? I do got this. I'm gonna get my shit together. And I felt a lot better like after I accomplished all of those things. So I appreciate your words of wisdom in making me a little more comfortable, although I'm still like sweating.
Hey,
it's the ring light.
No, yeah. You have it way more together this morning than I do, because all I did was just watch a basketball game.
What did do you have any guilty pleasures, like I guess maybe sports, but like throughout the pandemic, have you found something that you're like maybe a little embarrassed to admit, perhaps?
Yes,
like
100%. Oh my god. Okay. I made the huge mistake of buying a game console.
Oh.
And so I've been playing so much Grand Theft Auto and NBA 2K. Now,
yeah.
Sometimes I'm still playing. I'm just like, like, you should work on something. And then I'm like,
you're playing right now under the camera. You're like,
just like, no, it became so much that I actually found a way to play the game while I was video editing.
Yeah.
Like, I actually strategized on how to keep working.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
I was like, Gerry, you need to stop this.
This is not helping you level up, bro.
No. Luckily, though, the past like week or so, I'm playing a lot less just because I'm kind of getting bored of the games, which is like my goal. I'm like, please reach the point where you're just bored of this and you just put it away.
Yeah.
I've been holding myself back from getting any like new games or anything like that, even though I enjoy soccer too. I mean, sports in general, I've never really followed them per se, but you know, I enjoy playing them and stuff like that. And yeah, I was so tempted to get the FIFA game, but I was like, no, if you get that game,
don't do it. I'm so proud of you, Gerry.
But yeah, that's my guilty pleasure in this pandemic.
I've gotten into YouTubing, or like watching YouTubers just like filming their lives, and I'm like, and so like there's this little couple, and I watch his and hers, and then like it makes me feel like I'm part of their like little family. Like they have a dog and a cat, and I'm like replying. I'm like, oh, blah blah, like on their YouTube videos, and it's embarrassing, but it makes me feel like I'm part of something. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's the special part about the streaming is, you know, you feel like you're a part of something, which is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice. I think everyone wants to feel a part of something, especially a part of something positive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so when the pandemic hit, I turned into like a single person for the first time in 7 years. So I've had to like definitely learn how to figure things out on my own, like how to take out the garbage. It's one of my, I'm like, I hate fucking taking out the garbage. It's just so easy, but I hate it.
No, yeah. It's one of those.
So, and then like when you break up with somebody, like everyone's like, oh, you got to find yourself. Like you got to just be alone for a while. I'm like, if this isn't finding myself, I don't know what the fuck it is. So it's nice to be a part of these little YouTube communities and like, yeah. The other day, one of the girls, she adopted this dog, and they found out that the dog's babies, it had a litter, and then they adopted it. They found out that their friend, look at me, their friend had one of the babies, and they're like, oh, this is her baby. And they brought the baby over to the mom.
That's
and
cute.
I was just like, oh.
That's so cute.
It was so wholesome.
Well, see, that's the really nice thing about the live stream is you get to see all these like nice things happening in the middle of such a shit show of a world.
Yeah.
And that like all those, any little thing like that, like it can be the thing that just carries you through that day. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And because they, of course, they put all their positive stuff on the internet, all the negative stuff that happens. They're like, we don't show this part of our lives.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's where I'm just like, you know, it's I understand wanting to keep those things private because obviously, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's good to give a tiny bit of insight just to reassure other people of like, hey, like my life's not fucking rainbows and fucking sunshine. I mean, like there's some shit that goes down, and it's okay for those things to go down because see, it turns around. You know?
And they do. Like two of them. Oh no, my dogs are going at it now. Boys, no. Two of them just bought houses too, so I was able to like watch that process, and then I'm like, I'm gonna buy a house now.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool though. Then you get to maybe see what you want to do with your kids and stuff like that. I can imagine that's so like insane, like to decide like what furniture you want, or I mean all those things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I've been getting a little stoned and like Pinteresting, and I'm like, ooh, look at this mosaic tiling she made for her backyard. Like, I'm like thinking of all these like really awesome just DIY things that I can do, and I'm like, I'm gonna paint a mural on the back wall, like the stone wall, and I'm so excited. Yeah,
that's gonna be dope.
Oh yeah. So I'll definitely have you over for a housewarming party when we get back to normal.
Yes, I'm down. I was gonna say it's like a brick house.
It's stuck. The house itself is stucco.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because I remember when I was in Tempe, it was like I think it was a brick house. But anyways, I loved it because like hardly any sound came out. I was like, damn, I need to get a brick house.
Yo, well, you've been to my apartment before. No, you were at my house. You haven't been to my apartment. Yeah, no, these apartments are brick. Like, I've never gotten a noise complaint at all. So
that's the best. Seriously, like concrete walls or brick walls or whatever, because they just, you know.
Yeah, it's legit as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for taking 40 minutes out of your Sunday morning. And I'm glad we were able to be flexible yesterday with each other. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, huge respect for everybody that has had long hair for a long time, because I've been growing it out, and now I understand why people do this shit right here.
Yeah.
That shit, that fuck, oh my god, dude. Because I always used to wonder, I'm like, why do like people always do that with with the long hair? Like how hot?
I can't.
Yeah, it's so hot.
My hair's not even that long, but yeah.
But just the back of the neck right here, it gets
Oh, like I lost you. Yeah, like my down and the back of my neck, That's what sweats. So like, yeah, I was like, first I tried to put my hand on a braid and I'm like, no, I'm going to put it up because I'm just going to sweat during this whole interview. So, yeah, respect. Well, I love your quarantine do.
Thank you. It's very,
looks good. Looks good.
Thank you. I just got to get the rest of myself looking equally as good because, I have let that shit slide.
It's hard when you're not like up and about and like going to the club and dancing. Like
for real, I honestly didn't notice how much my old job helped me keep my weight. Like until I was like, wow.
Yeah, we're all feeling that for sure.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope we talk soon. And let me know when you come back.
Absolutely.
And I've been debating getting the vaccine, but I think I'm going to because I have underlying health issues. So I'm like, I might as well just do it. So yeah, let me know when you get back, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely will. Take care.
All right.
Talk to you.
Take care. Bye.
Peace.